Phantom Sounds Production. What up, sound?
To the Red Room Talk. Y'all, you can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Jen. The Red Room Talk is a show about love, intimacy, interpersonal relationships, including self, to erase different social stigmas. We are here to have candid discussions and cut through those stigmas to show that in the end, no matter your background, we all have commonalities when it comes to matters of the mind and heart. Sorry, y'all. Nothing is off the table in the Red Room Talk. Last episode, if you missed us, that's okay. You can find us on YouTube by clicking the link in my profile and subscribing. Last episode, we talked about personality. Who do you think you are? But this week, we're going to talk about, is love enough? Is love enough? Tonight in the Red Room, y'all, we have an all-star cast. I'm so happy. We have G-Way. We have Crew. We have Tender. And we have Queen Feisty. QOD's Queen Feisty. Let's find out how the panel feels about love. But before we get started, all that I ask is that you keep your mind open and your language clean, okay? First things first, I'm going to let y'all get in the box and introduce yourself, and then we will get started. But hello, everybody. Welcome, y'all, to the Red Room Talk. Of course, because we are polite, we do have manners here on the Red Room. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all introduce yourselves, but we always have ladies go first. So go ahead, Miss QOD, Queen Feisty. Let us know about yourself. Let us know about your life and what you got going on, okay? Loves pizza. While he can love it and enjoy indulging in it, he pays the price a few hours later. Along with those unfortunate enough to be in your company, he is also glued to the bathroom for the rest of the night. It's unfortunate that circumstance overrides emotion like this, but there is only so much that can be done about it. My friend would like to enjoy pizza on the regular every day if he could, but he knows the outcome would make him miserable. And the same can be said about relationships. Just because you love someone doesn't mean you won't be miserable as a result. Speaking of circumstances, my first question is, could you or have you dated someone long distance? Was it a good or bad experience?
Yes, I have. Um, I've dated two separate people. One was bad and one was good. The one that was bad was because there was no trust and there was no transparency. The one that was good was definitely someone that I felt I had a spiritual and emotional connection with before there was any type of physical. Um, so I believe, like you said before, depending on circumstance and the individual that you're connected with, it can or cannot work depending on the situation that you're in.
So, like Queen said, I have had two long distance relationships. One was good and one was bad. So, the one that was good still ended, but it was nothing that either one of us did. It was just circumstances that made that happen. So, the bad one, um, he was very controlling, and he felt like he could do anything and do it, see anybody and go out everywhere. But I on the other hand was completely, nobody could do anything. I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't even go to dinner with my mom. So that was a very stressful relationship. So that didn't last too long. But yeah. um,
Um, before I answer the question, I think it goes with like your definition of a long distance relationship, like the time that y'all are apart. And I only say that because with my career, active duty military, I'm gone a lot. So
Yeah, same here. I'm a truck
a
driver,
lot of
so I
my
feel you.
relationships, exactly. So a lot of it is long distance relationship. You know what I'm saying? Um, I've been in a few, obviously. For different, they didn't the communication wasn't there. We're competing against each other. It's so many different things, or which are the reason why they didn't work. But I think it's possible if you got two people that's willing to put in the work.
Yeah, I gotta agree with crew. At the same time, I'm a truck driver, so I'm out here all the time. So it's like I've been through a lot of relationships since being a truck driver. It can work, but it's gotta be communication. And if without communication, you can't even build trust. So you know what I'm saying. There's got to be really a lot of communication for it to work at the end of the day. Because if you ain't got no communication, it's nothing else. You can't build trust from there, in my opinion. But yeah, I've been through the good, the bad, and the ugly. If it didn't work because we didn't communicate, or they was doing their thing, stuff like that. But yeah, it can work, but you gotta have communication. Period.
So I've definitely dated someone long distance a couple times. I'm not gonna say that it was like good or bad, but for someone like me, like quality time is like my first love language. So it makes it very challenging. It's like, yes, you can have quality time over the phone, of course, but there's nothing like that physical connection. And I don't mean sex, but I mean even just sitting next to each other on the couch, cuddling, sleeping next to each other. These are things that you lack, and it is really hard for someone who, like, that is one of my top love languages. Like, mine are kind of hand in hand, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. Those are like kind of really close. So to kind of have like that distance. But I also think you could live 15 minutes away from each other and still have issues. I've seen people who literally live in they live in the same house and they can't make it work. You know what I'm saying? I think it's all about will and determination and how much fight you want to put into your relationship. If there's one person rowing the boat and the other one's drilling a hole, it's not going to work. You've got to have two people who are on the same like we're on the same stage working together for the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, We are here working together as one. You have to be in unison. You can't have one rowing the boat and then the other one rowing the other way. You're just never going to go anywhere. It's like a boat on dry land. It's going nowhere. So you have to have, the trust, the honesty, the communication, and the will, because a lot of you in this day and age, your staying power is zilch. Your staying power is zilch. Everything's a deal breaker. You're breaking up to make up. That is for children. Okay. That's high school. You have to have the staying power. You have to love that person. You have to honestly love that person. If you do not have the love is not there, and everything else is secondary to that. If you have the love, the rest comes with it, right? The trust, the loyalty, the honesty, the communication, all that is a part of love. I think that people have this skewed vision of what love is, and they think, well, love hurts because I've been hurt. No, baby. Love doesn't hurt. Sadness hurts. Not getting along hurts. Fighting hurts. Those are the things that hurt. And love itself does not hurt. Love is beautiful and kind. Love is God. Okay, like I don't know what other way to say it, but love feels good. Love doesn't hurt. It's the rest of the things that hurts, the pain, it's the suffering. Those are what hurts. You know what I'm saying? So I think as long as the love is there and the willingness to put in the work, then it can work. No matter, I don't care if you live on the other side of the country, or if you live on the other side of the world. I have seen people who lived on two separate places on this earth, and they come together like, wow, and they love each other, and happily ever after. But you're not going to get that if you have no will to stay, if you have no determination, if you don't even want it to work, because you have to want it. If you don't even want it, what are you even doing? You know what I'm saying? So you have to have that will to stay. You have to have the loyalty and all of that within yourself, and share that with the other person. And you got to have two people working together. I don't know if it was Chris Rock had said, he's like, relationships are hard. You can lift and carry a couch with two people, but you can't do that by yourself. It's got to have two people working together in unison. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say something real quick, Jen?
Sure.
I said this in my show last Sunday. All of us have experienced pain in our lives. It can come from a number of things: death, loved ones, broken relationships, termination of a job, or divorce. But sometimes God allows a part of us to process for leading us into our purpose, which often sometimes propels us into our destiny. So, keep that in mind in anything and everything you do, especially when it comes to love. So the pain that you may have for that moment, for that season, for that reason, is going to propel you into something greater. So sometimes love that you may think is unconditional may not be, but understand that it's going to give you a reason for that season to propel you to something that's greater. So go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no. Thank you for sharing that. Does anybody else have anything to add? No? Okay. No. Okay. If you are just pulling up, y'all, it is okay. We still have so much more to come. Oops. We still have so much more to come. You can find us every Saturday on the Red Room Talk, y'all, at 10 p.m. We just discussed, could you or have you dated someone long distance? Was it a good or a bad experience? But now I want to talk about compatibility. Love does not equal compatibility. If you are practicing Wiccan, dating a born-again Christian who just announced a campaign to retake Jerusalem, but he really wants to make it work, you're in for a bad time, okay? It might seem fine while you have a good time cruising around town on your broom and chugging down the communion wine that he brought, but what happens when he starts saying your friends need to be burned at the stake? You'll be in a constant conflict, and at a certain point, you'll need to get off the roller coaster or face a life of misery, okay? So my question is, do you think the opposites actually attract? Why or why not? Or would you rather have someone that was more like yourself?
Yes, opposites attract. I wouldn't want to have someone that's more like myself, because I don't need a yes person. I don't need someone that's going to tell me yes, you right all the time. I want you to disagree. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I want you to tell me I'm wrong when I'm wrong. And I want you to love me enough to know, or to tell me, hey, you wilding right now. Like, you wilding. So you wrong. And I want you to love me enough to say that. And you can't do that if we are like people. I need the opposite person of me, because I'm gonna do the same for you as you do for me. In short, because I can. Sorry.
My profession by trade is a therapist. So, and one of my specializations is couples therapy. So I do couples therapy a lot. And compatibility comes up a lot. And most people feel like that's all that you need to have in a relationship. Like, you just need to be compatible. And that's absolutely not true. A lot of times the communications fail because of the lack of compatibility, or the lack of understanding each other's differences. So it can go both ways. I feel that you can't, opposites do attract, and I believe in that. But I also believe that once you're in a relationship, you have to make sure that you communicate with each other and make sure that everything is going right. One of the things that I tell my clients to do is, every 6 months they do a 6 month checkup, like wellness, and they have a meeting with each other, and it could be over dinner, it could be whatever, over wine, whatever, and just say, hey, these are the things that we fought over this in the last couple of months. Let's talk about it, and make sure you two are on the same page, because if you're not on the same page, then you won't know what to fix for either the next relationship or to fix for that relationship. So
I agree with the ladies. Obviously, do a track. Would I want somebody the same as me? No. First of all, I'm a handful by myself. Like, I'm hard headed. I'm really stubborn. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then, like, sometimes I get into this mode where, like, I'm super nonchalant. I'm chill. You know what I'm saying? A little more. Let me give y'all some more juice, right? Roller coasters. I'm not doing it. I hold y'all bags. I'm not playing. I will sit on the bottom, hold y'all bags. Scary movies. Nope. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody to help me get outside my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? I need a little flavor in the relationship. I can't do that when both of us scared of the same thing. It's not gonna work.
Facts. Big facts. I agree with everybody else. I mean, opposites do attract. Um, like everybody's saying, like, I don't want a me. Like, I want somebody that, like, show me new things, let me experience new things, push me to do stuff that I don't normally do. I like excitement. So I definitely believe opposites attract. I don't want nobody that isn't me. And no offense, but if you are a Leo, ladies, I ain't even gonna talk to you. I ain't
Don't
even gonna
do me.
talk to you.
Hold on, G Way. I'm a Leo.
We can
Don't
be
do me.
friends. We can be friends, but we can't get in the cage together. We can't get in the cage together. You know that. We're gonna kill each other. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. But yeah, options definitely do attract though, for real, for
So something that King Drippin said, he's like, communication is the foundation, and I want to kind of talk about that for a minute before I really go into that. But like, what do you mean? Like, when he said that, it reminded me of something my mom said. If your foundation crumbles, the rest of the building is coming down. Your foundation, the communication, the love, the respect, that is your foundation in a relationship, right? And without all of that, your whole building will crumble. There will be nothing. It will be destitute. It will be ruined. You have to have that solid foundation to have the relationship that you really want to build. If you, without those, like, those are like what I call like your base, right? Like, these are things that you have to have. I know, like, these are non-negotiables. Okay, I have to
Mhm.
have communication, I have to have respect, I have to have trust. Like, without those things, there is nothing else for me. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So for me, it's not even really more so an opposite or someone like me, but do you have those base morals? Do you have those base foundation within yourself? Do you have, are you a great communicator? Are you are you trustworthy? Are you loving? Are you faithful? Are you honest? These are things that I look at as a whole, right? I don't really look at, because like for me, looks and all those things are secondary to everything else. Like you could be you could be opposite, but there has to be just enough commonalities that there's a connection, right? Like the rest of the stuff is just fluff, right? You know, the pretty wrapping, the looks, all that. Like as long as you have a great personality, you're honest. Am I echoing to you? Okay, so as long as you have the basis. I don't know why I'm. Hold on, I'm
Am I tripping or did that just happen? Did everybody else see that?
hold on, y'all. Am I still? Okay. So you have to have those base foundation for you. So it's not even about looks or any of those things for me, but I feel like it should be like a balance, right? So you should have just enough differences to that you weigh out like what I lack. Like I might not be great at telling people about themselves or like defending myself, but because you have that part of you that you can you can communicate those things that I can't. That's like a balancing act. Like you should have, it's like a yin and yang for each other. Like you should have the things that I don't have, and the things that I have you lack. Like we just, it's like alchemy. It's like your water each other, you fit together like a puzzle piece. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to be just like me, like she's just like me. No, it don't have to be like that. I like someone who has just enough differences, because then I can learn something from you. If you're exactly like the other person, what are you really going to learn from them? And I'm a sapiosexual, so I want to know about your mind. I want to learn something from you. Those are things that attract me. Your differences are what attract me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I need the yin to my yang. I need someone who, maybe because I'm a little more lax, I'm more of a submissive in a sense, because I don't really just go tell people about themselves when they're hurting me or something. I kind of take a lax approach to it, and I'm like, either you're going to realize or I'm going to just cut you off. But see, my partner needs to be someone who maybe is a little more boisterous. Now, I'm not saying rude or ugly, but I mean someone who's a little more boisterous, and they know how to eloquate things that I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, for instance, my mom and my pop, she mostly wears the pants. I'm sorry, Pop, I don't mean to say this out loud, but she mostly wears the pants, but she knows when to allow him to be a man and when he needs to be a man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they have this balance of the feminine and the masculine, because she has masculine attributes, and I'm not saying he has feminine as in he's a woman, but he just allows her to be the head without it making him emasculated. You know what I'm saying? Like it just works for them, because they are this balancing act of a couple. You know what I'm saying? So they have like both sides, and it's like it just works. Like they should be your puzzle piece that kind of fits together. It doesn't have to be someone who's just like me, because I think eventually that would be boring. Like, oh, we think just alike, we're never gonna argue, and not saying you want to argue, but sometimes you have to have someone who can call you out, someone who can tell you something, like they can see something from a different angle. If you think the same, you're not going to even approach problems the right way, because you have the same mindset. I need someone who thinks different from me, who's been through different things. So I'm going to be honest, I think for me, I probably lean more towards the opposite. I won't say opposite completely, like just enough commonalities, but just enough differences. You know what I'm saying? But I'll go ahead and let y'all weigh in. Sorry, y'all. I don't know why we're echoing, but.
Well, that was a lot there, Jen. I'm gonna go ahead and say, for myself, in any relationship, love is enough for me if there's loyalty, honor, and respect. If you're loyal to our relationship, if you respect our relationship, and you honor our relationship and our friendship in every way possible. Because if I'm in a relationship with you, then you are my best friend and I am yours, because we are in this life journey together. And the love that I have for you is unconditional. And when I say unconditional, I mean through the bad times, through the good times, through the episodes of PTSD, whatever medical issues you may have that come with the baggage before that you're not trying to carry into the next. I love you unconditionally because what happened before me has nothing to do with me. And I love you for you and what we have built and what we have become. And if we are transparent with one another at all times, know and say when you communicate, this is what I have to say, but my heart is still open and I still love you. I still love you unconditionally in everything that you do. I don't judge you. I support you. I accept you for who you are. Be that person in the journey if that's who you choose to say those 3 words to, which is I love you. I'm in love with you. If you say that, mean that. Say what you mean and mean what you say. But if you can't say those words, then don't say them. Be vocal and communicate and be honest in what you say and be truthful with yourself and with the other person that you are going into a relationship with, friendship with, any type of situationship with. Be that person and be that person true to yourself. I don't want to be long-winded, so but I that's definitely I believe that in my heart, in my soul, because I can go on and on, but I know it's other people. So, I just want to say too, Jen, thank you, and I appreciate you. You and G Wade, thank you so much.
Sure. So if y'all are just pulling up, that's okay. You have not missed much. We still do have a lot more to discuss. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Red Room Talk. We just discussed, could you or have you dated someone long distance? Do you think opposites attract, or would you rather someone like yourself?
Do you think opposites attract, or would you rather someone like yourself?
A little controversy or trouble. Why am I still? Okay. Love cannot conquer the toxic one. My friend can love pizza all he wants. He can love it so much that his heart bursts and he can't imagine a life without it. But that does not matter. It doesn't matter how much he wants pizza to be compatible with his stomach, but his circumstance has deemed him incompatible. And he is not willing to be miserable for the sake of enjoying pizza once in a while. And his love conquers nothing. It's toxic for him and he knows it and he stays away. Now take a relationship. There doesn't have to be a toxic person in a relationship for it to turn sour. Sometimes 2 people together make it toxic at no fault of their own, being incompatible. That doesn't mean there's no love between you, but one thing I think of is an unfaithful person. So I want to know, can you forgive someone for cheating? And if so, what would it take?
Tinder, you can go first. Winded, so go ahead, baby.
Oh no, like I mean, I'll go first, but I'm not. You're not. You take all the time you need. I'm just enjoying the conversation.
Okay, so if I got cheated on, I mean I have several times. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I accepted what I accepted and I allowed what I allowed. But when it got to a point where a woman says enough is enough, it was done. I mean, do you? I'm not into keeping somebody that ain't trying to get kept. If I'm treating you like my king and, doing any and everything for you other than, wiping your ass and washing your balls, then, excuse me, then,
It was the CSD for me.
It's okay.
I mean, I'm trying to be, you know how I could be, Jen. Hold on.
I will wash your and your. Okay, that's how much your love is there. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is, but definitely, I allowed it a couple times, and I forgave because I felt that the sorry was sincere, but it wasn't. So, but when I had more self-love and self-understanding is when I didn't allow it anymore.
So I've been cheated on a lot. That's why I'm not currently in a relationship, because there are some expectations I expect, and sometimes I think a lot of people take the verbal non-negotiables as in um, you can't do anything in a relationship, and that's not true. Um, my thing is people in relationships use the word love too loosely. Um, you're right.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. I like
Right.
this.
Yeah, you hit a good spot.
So for me, you know, I think a lot of people say I love you, and it's not necessarily that they're in love with you. And people get love and being in love
And
totally
being
mixed
in
up.
love, totally.
So for me, I'm very particular about when I say I love somebody in a relationship, because I don't want them to feel like they have to say it back. And that's what happens a lot of times, is that somebody says I love you, and then you're like, oh crap, I didn't say it back. I don't know if I'm like, I don't know how I feel. I don't. But I think a lot of times in relationships, you use that to excuse a lot of things in the relationship. But I love you, and you're like, oh no, like you didn't love me when you did that. So for me,
So for me,
um, it takes me a while to say I love you, especially if I'm learning trust in you, and things like that. So for me, being cheated on really taught me how to stand up for myself, and how to what you won't accept. And for that, I definitely hold off as until I really feel that feeling of love. I can't go to bed without saying goodbye, good night. I can't, I want to be the first text you read in the morning, or any of that. So if I'm not feeling that way, then it's not that I don't care about you. It's not that I don't want to love you or want to fall in love with you. I just don't want to mislead you into thinking that 2 months into our relationship, I'm in love with you, and you're expected to say something in return. And then that whole thing, communication thing, just go up in smoke. Period. So
Yeah, yeah. I know everybody. Well, I don't even want to assume. Have you heard the term "don't talk the talk, walk the walk"? It's a
Mhm.
pretty common term, right? I like to, you know, put that with the love portion because just what Tinder said. That's why I was like, it's used really, really loosely. You know what I'm saying? I only can speak for myself. People would tell me they love me, and they don't show me. You know what I'm saying? So my for a short point of time, my definition of love or what I thought love was, I had to revamp that and look at it a totally different way based upon what I was being shown. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to love, you know what I'm saying? I would prefer, of course you can, you know what I'm saying? If you mean it, say it, but show me, you know what I'm saying? Do those small things, you know what I'm saying? I feel like love it's an emotion, and it's a selfless emotion. If I'm being, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more direct or whatever, like you got to be willing to change certain things, you know what I'm saying, to make your relationship work, because you're trying to please the other person and vice versa. Obviously, you do have to be happy by yourself. I have to be happy by myself with myself. She has to be the same way, but we both have to be willing to be together. Now, I said I was stubborn. Me being a little less stubborn is a change to make that relationship work. Quick example. Um, but to answer the question, Jen, when we talking about intercourse, I think men, when cheating with a man, I think it's more physical. We can look at a beautiful woman and then a man is just gonna want her, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But when a woman is a little bit different, I think it's more of an emotional connection. So when I think about my relationship, if my if the person I'm with, my partner, is comfortable enough to go cheat on me, it's a little deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? She feel comfortable talking to him, opening up to him, giving herself to him, so on and so forth. The relationship is done. It ain't no coming back from that.
I feel you. I feel you. I've been cheated on. I think it's depending on circumstance because I've been cheated on twice, and it was two different circumstances. The first one we were actually together for a while, so when it happened, it was more so like, all right, you made a mistake. We've been together this amount of time, that's not in your characteristic. But in the other case, it was more like, oh, we just started talking type thing. Like, nah, I'm out. I ain't got time for it. When it comes to the term being used loosely, and I agree with somebody on the panel, they said that you can love somebody but not be in love with somebody. Like the mother of my kids, I love her, but I'm not in love with her. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of days in society these days, it gets confused so fast, very fast. Like people say they love you, and you might not even be in a relationship, but the other person might take it as, oh, you're in love with me. So, and that's why we got to go back to that communication, man. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? If you communicate and let people know what's going on, what you want, lay everything on the table up front, then you got no confusion. And that way you're building on a good foundation, for me. I'm saying at the end of the day. But yeah, when it comes to that word, it gets thrown around very loosely these days. It causes a lot of problems. But yeah, I've accepted it and I will accept it if we've been together for a long time and you made a mistake. Okay, cool. But early in relationship, no, I'm out. Can't do it.
So can I say one quick thing? So in my practice, most people think that more couples come to counseling because of cheating and things like that. Actually, I only had one couple come to me about that because of cheating. Every couple that comes to me is about lack of communication. They can't communicate. They don't know how to um, put it together. So, and one of my couples actually realized that they weren't in love with each other. And they'd been together for 10 years, and they just felt they were complacent and they were just going with emotion. Um, so the thing about that is that there are a lot of people that with the communication part, that causes people to cheat. And that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse, but that's what usually causes people to go somewhere else because they don't know how to communicate with each other as they should. So
To add to that real quick, if you don't mind, I definitely feel you on that. And I feel like the reason why a lot of people don't know how to communicate is because they're more worried about what the other individual is going to feel or how they're going to react and how they express themselves in the relationship and about the relationship. And that's the reason why there's a lot of communication breakdown. And that's why a lot of people move into a relationship with lust, and then they don't know how to communicate, and once that honeymoon stage is over and they don't know how to communicate and break those barriers and don't want to hurt each other's feelings, then that's what makes everything be like, okay, well, we're in this relationship and now we don't know how to get out of it.
Go ahead, crew. I seen it coming. I seen it. I seen it.
He was itching.
I agree with that, but I want to play devil's advocate if you don't mind, right? Communication. When I think about people communicating, everybody wants to get their point across. I think the biggest part of communicating is the listening part. Let's say if I'm in a relation and I ask this and I think it's a really good question. I asked you before. Do you think you can sit in a room of 5 or 10 people and let them tell you what your flaws are? Self-criticism, right? That's the only way you're gonna get better. Do you really, if you think about it, if you sit in the room, 5 or 10 people, and just let them tell you, a lot of people gonna feel attacked. You know what I'm saying? But let's put this in a relationship perspective, right? Um, me and my significant other, my partner, been together 5 plus years. She's not pleasing me sexually. Instead of me going out and cheating on her, I have that conversation with her. Hey, sweetheart, you're not pleasing me by so and so and so and so. She might feel attacked and it might go left.
Right.
The listening part,
That's where I come in most of the time is when
Because she's not listening to understand, like Jen said before. She's not
yep,
listening to understand. She's listening to have a rebuttal.
yep,
Right.
And then often, like when people hear, like you hear a negative thing about yourself, the first thing you want to do is jump to your defense instead of actually listening. And I can say I'm a prisoner of that sometimes too, because a lot of times people will attack your character and not the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Let's not attack the person, let's attack the problem. Because sometimes it might just be, I can't communicate this properly. Because, first of all, this might be something I got PTSD over. This might be something that I have anxiety over. This might be something that I have an issue with, and I have trouble communicating this to you. And I don't, and I'm gonna play devil advocate myself here. I don't always think that men cheat just because of physical attention. I'm sorry, because a lot of you guys will cheat for emotional reasons too, because a woman's not making stroking your freaking ego all goddamn day long, okay? I cannot
Beep,
stroke your
beep,
ego all
beep,
day long.
beep.
Can I at least
Beedoo,
stroke
beedoo,
myself too? You
beedoo.
know what I'm saying? Let me rub on myself,
agreed.
and I'm tired of stroking your ego all damn day long to appease you when I'm getting shit on. Respectfully.
Understood.
You know what
Understood.
I'm saying? So I really don't feel like it's just a physical thing. And I think we often, we let men get away with, sorry, this is not a man bashing thing, but we often let men get away with that because I've heard this so many times that men cheat physically and women cheat emotionally. But I'm going to tell you, sometimes I might just want some because you've done cheated on me 15 times. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm getting a lick back. Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that's what I think, but I'm saying oftentimes it's not just a mental or physical thing when it comes to cheating. I think that sometimes men also cheat emotionally because there's something they're not getting the words of affirmation from their woman. Because women all want to be treated like queens, but yeah, we treating our men like trash. He comes home from a long day at work and you're mad that he's on the game. Let that man play the game and wake him up with something. It's really not that hard. Men are very, look, listen, men are easy as heck. You don't got to buy them a drink. You ain't got to buy them a smoke. You ain't got to do nothing. They're going to get it. You
Them
know what
good
I'm saying?
goozies.
Men are easy. Just like really women, we are too. We just want chocolate and tell us we're pretty and be there for us. It's really, I think people complicate this so much for no reason. If you have the love there and the trust and the foundation, it should not be that hard. I think people make it hard because you are not willing to do what it takes, and that is sacrifice. That is apologize. People will, I know people who have not talked for 10 years because of one apology, because they borrowed $20 and didn't give it back, and so over $20 you've lost a lifelong friend. People are so afraid to apologize. I'm going to tell you something. For me, it might take me a second because I have, a pride there. Ding ding ding. See if that wasn't
There
true.
you
People let their pride come over their love. And I'm going to tell you, I would rather tell you I'm sorry and that I'm wrong than lose the love of my life, than lose the person. And
Amen.
I'm not just saying I'm saying I'm sorry, but I'm showing you I'm sorry, because I'm one of those people. If I mess up or I screw up, I have instant action to fix it. That tells you I love you. That tells you I love you because I'm showing you. I'm not just saying, you know what, babe, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. And then I keep doing the same bull. Yeah, we might mess up multiple times, but it's the and forgiveness. Relationships are full of forgiveness and full of sacrifice and full of just, and it sounds horrible, doesn't it? But it's really not. I think if the love is there, the foundation, the love and the trust and the respect is there, all of that is not so hard. Because you love that person, right? You know what? Because I love you, I'm going to take a lick and I'm going to say I'm sorry. Even though I might not even feel that I'm wrong, but because I know that this might be something that really meant something to you, I can take that lump. I can take it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like Now, can I forgive someone for cheating at this day and age and at this point? Hell no. Because you made a conscious effort. At some point, you had me in your head. You seen that visual of my face before you laid with that woman. So if you proceeded, then you literally went and then still proceeded, whether it was physically or emotionally. You made a conscious, even in the wake of bipolar, manic, and you're out of it. You still had a lucid moment where you seen my face and you chose to go forward. So can I forgive someone for that now? Heck no. No. Back in the day, have I? Oh, yes, I have many times, because my love was big enough for both of us. But you know what? What love wasn't big enough? That was the love for myself that I should have walked away from the very first sign of trouble.
Thanks.
I feel like in that,
a woman knows, a woman's intuition will tell her, and I'm telling you, because a man, every time he'll be like, I ain't like those other dudes you've been with, but you twins, the triplets even, you look just like them. You got the same, the hairline going back further than my ancestry. Yeah, no,
I'm good.
I'm just kidding, girl. I just had to say that.
when a woman,
I'm straight.
when a man cheats emotionally and mentally,
men don't just cheat.
I feel like it's a sign of disrespect. When you cheat emotionally and mentally, I feel like that's a bigger sign of disrespect, because now I've compromised me as a woman. I've compromised myself, my trust, and my integrity to believe in you and communicate with you and be transparent with you. And you've taken all of that, even though you've said, I'm sorry. I don't want you to be sorry. I want you to apologize and learn and grow from that apology. Because when you tell me you're sorry, that just means you're going to do it again. I don't want your sorry.
The more you forgive someone, the more they're in love with you. But the more you forgive them, the more you hate them. And I could tell you it was like that with my ex. If he would have, the first time he did it, even though I went against the non-negotiables for myself, if he would have made up for it and then had instant action and proved to me for the rest of our lives that he was never going to do that again, I promise you we'd still be together today.
I feel you.
Love that man.
I feel you on that.
But when you keep, like, especially for me to allow you to come back into my life, for me to forgive you, to take that out of my chest, to allow that hurt to sit in me and to still take you back, and you do it again, I promise you, you and your mama can go do something to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. At that point, you made a conscious effort. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about my mama.
Listen, I'm gonna talk about your mama, because your mama. I'm just kidding. Anyway,
You said about my mama. My mama biscuits. My mama biscuits. Got the mama biscuits.
Every Saturday on the Red Room Talk, y'all. Make sure you hit these top 3 gifters here in those bubbles, because at the end of the show, those top 3 gifters, they get a graphic made none other than me, and I will throw a little something special in there for one of those top 3 gifters. So make sure y'all hit that gift button and favorite all these guests here. But we just discussed, would you or have you dated someone long distance? Was it a good or bad experience? Then we discussed, do you think opposites attract? And can you forgive someone for cheating? And y'all, we are a little behind, but please make sure y'all do not leave your seats. In just a little while, okay? Now I want to talk about forever. Now I want to talk about once in a lifetime. The fortunate thing about love is that it isn't unique. The idea of one true love is a hopeless romantic myth, and that's really sucks for me. I'm sorry. Okay. But most people love multiple times before finding someone they really work with. Sometimes you need a break after love, and that's okay. But don't fall into the mindset that you'll never love again, because there are over 7 billion people on this earth, y'all. We don't have to look in that little 15-mile radius that you see on the map, okay? I promise he probably not in there, okay? Let's expand our minds and expand our hearts a little bit, okay? Subtracting the amount of people eligible makes that thing smaller, but it's still a amount of people. We're done with the echo? Okay. It is ridiculous to think that you will only love one of them. Okay?
Just mute us.
This is crazy. We're going back to the echo tagged. Yes, this is a feature show and we're talking about that. But anyways, do you think love is forever? Like, do you think you have one true love? Why or why not? Raise your hand at this point if you want to answer, because Lord have mercy. Hold on, I'll just mute myself so y'all can go.
Do I feel like I have one true love? That was the question. Like that one person is out there? Yeah, of course. She better be, and I'm gonna find her. And when I do, I'm gonna lock her down, and we gonna go see the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of seeing the country. We gonna go see the world. I'm a
It
truck
says, do you
driver.
think
I've been doing
love
this
is
10
forever? Like,
years.
you have one true love. Like, do you think love is for a forever thing? Like, you have one true love?
Yeah, I do, in my opinion. But you just gotta find that one. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go through multiple people. Not calling y'all no hoes or nothing like that, but go through multiple people looking for that one. But like I believe that one person is out there for everybody at the end of the day. So me personally, I'm call me a old school, but to me there is that one person out there for everybody, in my opinion.
Me myself, um, I don't know. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't know, because when I thought I had that one true love, I was told by him that he needed to choose between me and God, and it broke my heart because I would never want somebody to have to choose between a human being and a divine being. So I hope one day out there, maybe, it is that one that will love me unconditionally and be my true love. But have I had it yet? Nah, not quite.
So I do believe in true love. I do believe that there's that one person for everyone. But I think sometimes we overlook the person that is our true love because you're looking for things physical, financial. You're looking for all those things, and you're not looking at the inner beauty, and you're not looking at the inner inside of someone. So I think that a lot of times, I think that a lot of times we overlook individuals that could be our true love for something for what people might or might not call their non-negotiables. And I'm not talking about like a non-negotiable like cheating or anything like that, but I'm talking about a non-negotiable as in, they have to be 6'5", they have to have a big old butt, they have to have huge tatas and things like that. So I think we as humans overlook people because we don't think that they're worthy enough. But if they're trying to show you they're worthy enough, you're not even accepting it, then you will never know.
For a long time, I didn't believe in love anymore. And like I said, that was part of the time where I had to, revamp myself, you know what I'm saying, and change my mindset a little bit. I did the most growing I ever did in the last 2 years of my life. Two and a half, 2.5, 3 years or whatever. Um, Now I can say, yeah, it's that one person. You know what I'm saying? That one person out there for everybody. That's part of life though. You gotta find them. Will you find them? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? I think one of the key parts of life is learning. However you learn from the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I'm saying? How you grow from it is based upon you. How you taking that? You know what I'm saying? Um, so will you find them? Who knows? You making the decisions of your life. You know what I'm saying? But is he or she out there? Definitely.
Yeah, but learn to love yourself first. Please. Please learn to love
Sometimes
yourself.
people have to be in relationships because they are so afraid of being alone that it scares them. So they get into relationship after relationship. And I always tell clients that there is a growth period between relationships. Like you can't just be with someone one day and the next day you in a full-blown relationship with somebody else. You have to work on the baggage from that past relationship, because if you bring that baggage to the new relationship, then you're going to be going to another relationship very soon, because eventually those bags will turn into a full-on four-piece luggage set that with the Samsonite kind.
Samsonite. I was
Exactly.
just about to say that.
So you have to deal with the baggage that you left in the previous relationship and grow from that and be okay with being alone, because you're going to be alone some period of your life, and you have to understand that if you don't heal yourself, you can't help heal anybody else in a relationship when you guys are arguing, or with you about something as simple as washing the dishes or any of that. So for me, like, that right there is a key thing about relationships and love. You have to deal with the baggage in your previous in order to be in the present. And most people don't want to do that. Most people want to, well, this is why I am the way I am. And they use that excuse in a relationship, in your relationship. Well, so-and-so did that to me. They're not that person. They're not, I'm not so-and-so.
I'm not your baby mama. I'm not your
I'm
ex.
not.
Right.
So why are you doing that? Why? And I tell people a lot that they're not that person. And how would you like it if they did that to you?
Right.
So,
I wholeheartedly believe you, and I agree with you on that, because I've been in previous relationships to where I didn't know how to deal with that, to not bring it into the next relationship until I got older. And it all had to do with me healing in myself and loving myself and knowing my self-worth, and knowing that the person that I'm going to encounter going forward in that path, that's not the person that I dealt with before. So don't bring that onto them, and again, that was me healing. And a lot of people don't know how to heal before you press on.
You better.
So I agree with you.
right.
You better. You gonna hurt everybody else you come in contact with.
Absolutely.
Facts.
So,
It's your turn.
I don't have anything else to say.
In my heart, I grew up like being one of those, and this has probably been like my life's biggest disappointment, but I grew up thinking that life and love was like the movies, right? That you have that person who, no matter what you do or go through, that they have this love for you, and then even if they mess up, that they're gonna have like that epiphany moment. They're like, what, oh my god, like, what, you were right, I've loved you all along and it's always been you. And that they were gonna come to that conclusion, and what, it doesn't come. It doesn't come until much later, and when it's too damn late. 4 years after you've cheated on me, 4 years after you've messed it up, or however long. But when it always comes at a price, and then the cost is losing me. And I'm going to tell you, and it's not, no, this is, no shade, or this is nothing, but it's like, for me, like, I think people, they take for granted the type of person I am and the type of love I have to give. And then when they realize, like, oh my god, nobody else was like her, like, dang, I thought because of this or that, like, there was these certain things, but they end up realizing that they had much more than they thought. You know what I'm saying? And then they come back later like, please, but at that point I'm already with the man who already realized it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not saying I'm a jump off or anything, but you go where you are loved. You go where you grow. And that's what I try to say. Like, you're only going to stay in a place for so long. A dog is even going to run away if you abuse it, okay? A dog is even going to run away from you. Like, you have to come to that place where, like, you put love and your self-respect in two different places. Do I want to think that love is forever? And in a way it is, because I have graveyards of men in my heart that I still love. Now, am I in love with them? No, but I still have something for them. I can go through my playlist and tell you what man I loved and where this song came from and why this and this. I can go. My playlist is an emotional roller coaster. Okay, I don't even put it in categories. The category is what I was at in my life. I can tell you what I was going through at that exact moment. You know what I'm saying? So do I think love is forever? Like you have one true love? I would love to hope that, and I would love to think that one day I end up with that I have that one true love that I can't be away from. But at this present moment, do I think that love is forever? I think in a way, but do I think in love is forever? No, not at this point. Do I feel that way? Because I think people are so stuck in their own mindsets. They don't I don't think they even like think too much about the other person or what they're thinking. I think it's such a self-centered society that we are all about us. Like think about it, social media, Instagram, it's all pictures of you. It's we're just such a like Facebook, and even go back to MySpace. Society has created this realm of me, that we don't even think about other people. And even when the love you see, like people helping homeless people, why are you recording that? Why are you recording that? You know what I'm saying? We're such a see me, I'm doing a good type thing person, and it's all about me society, that I think we have single-handedly ruined what true love really looks like. But the people like me that are left over, the ones who don't belong in this generation, and I believe in all these things, and I will write you poetry, and I will sing you liloquies, and I will, I have that kind of love in me, but people don't appreciate that. So people like me eventually just shove it down, and we deal with the bullshit we have handed to us. Like, okay, I'll accept your thanks for the text. You know what I'm saying? That's the society we're in. We don't write love letters and poetry and do all those things for each other anymore. It's just such a self-centered society that I think if we don't heal as a world and as a society, that's going to be completely gone. You're going to have to go to a museum to see what a lady looks like. Let's be honest. Hope you're fun with her OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the society we're in. We're in visual and sexual, and it's just so far gone that I don't know if we can come back to that Al Green let's stay together society. I don't know. I hope that we
I
can
mean,
come
I
to
feel
that
like it's
place
still out
again
there.
and dance in the kitchen cheek to cheek, eating that last piece of cake. I don't know. But if y'all are just pulling
That
up, you're
last
late.
piece of pie.
That's okay. You can find us every Saturday. We just discussed a whole lot of stuff, and I'm not even going to go through it because I want to get to this next question. Sure, it's romantic to imagine yourselves as star-crossed lovers that defy the odds and love each other no matter what, but could you imagine if you compromise between you and your partner meant giving up a part of who you are? You might say they don't truly love you, but being stubborn doesn't make love less valid. Sometimes a compromise isn't being true to yourself. If you're an anxious introvert and your partner wants you to keep up with their party animal lifestyle, you could put up with it for a while. But if a central part of who your partner is makes you unhappy and they want somebody to embrace that, then you will be in an unhappy relationship. Sooner or later, there will be a ride or die moment that love cannot conquer. And you'll have to choose between staying in an unhappy relationship or making the painful decision to leave. It doesn't have to be someone's fault. Relationships can just fizzle out. But to the ones who want to stay and make it work, I want to know what's more important in love, the power to forgive or the willingness to sacrifice for your partner?
The willingness to sacrifice, in my opinion. The willingness to sacrifice, the willingness to open up, the willingness to change. Like Cruz said earlier, I'm stubborn as well. If you can make me break out of my shell and change my ways, that to me is way more powerful. That means you're stimulating me mentally. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest turn on and the biggest number one thing for me. Like if you can stimulate me up here to where I want to change things and the way I do things, then that's definitely more powerful to me, in my opinion.
I second that.
For real.
So I think that a lot of people, um, for the sacrifice thing is definitely the thing, but I think that so many people are afraid that they're going to sacrifice and change something of themselves, and and their partner's not going to appreciate it or not going to um, do their sacrifice. They're not sacrificing anything, and they're not changing for you, but you're doing all the changing for them. And that's where a lot of things come into play about trust and loyalty, because if you trust someone, it's about a compromise. It's about yeah, I'm going to change some things that and change some things for you because I care about you. I want this to work. But in that same instance, the other person has to be willing to change too. The example you said was about going out all the time and all night. Well, if you're in a relationship, why are you doing that all the time? Going to a bar, and I'm playing devil's advocate. No one in the comments like y'all can go to a bar all night long and do whatever you want. You can buy everybody drinks in that bar. I do not mind. That is not what I'm saying. I just use that as an example. But I mean, like, if that person is enough for you, then why are you going out so much? Why are you still doing those things? Going out with the boys and things like that. And I'm not saying never go out with them. I'm not saying never spend time with your friends or things like that. And you can even go to a bar, but do you have to do it 6 days out of the week? Maybe, you know, a couple of times a month, or even more, maybe once a week. You know, give that kind of compromise, because what's going to happen is that she or he is going to be sitting at home wondering what you're doing at the bar with your friends, and then that's where that trust lacks. And it's not it's not an excuse, and it's not fair, and it's not that, but that's what happens. And then what ends up happening is, oh well, he thinks I'm cheating anyway, so I might as well go ahead and cheat. That doesn't work. Like, that's not great. So, you know, so I think that it's about balance. I think, like, if one compromise, you have to have the other compromising too. So, sacrificing.
That word compromise. um, I will not compromise, because when I heard the word compromise, I feel like you want me to compromise my morals, my values, my integrity for you and what you want me to be. Um, and I get with someone that I don't want to change because I get with them for who they are and who I see them to be. And I don't want them to compromise. Now, sacrifice, yes, there are some things that I may sacrifice in my life and in the relationship that we may have, but compromise, no, I will not, because I will not compromise who I am and who I've built myself to be over my past experiences that I don't want to bring forward. Yes, a lot of people do say, "Hey, well, you're going out," and I totally agree with you. You know, those 6 days out the week. You know, but here's the thing: sometimes, even if you're with each other 24/7, 365 days a week, and you love each other and you're in love with each other, sometimes you need that little bit of space. You need that little bit of time away from each other so that you can miss each other and you can be grateful and thankful for the person that you know you're going back home to. And if you don't have that ultimate trust and transparency in your relationship, then I mean, just move around from me. And you know, no love lost, because no love is returned. And that's how I ultimately feel at the end of the day. But I will never compromise.
I look like you want to say something.
It's your turn, Jen. Jen, it's your turn.
Okay, well, he looked like he wanted to say something. That's why I was looking at him. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you this for my answer. Okay, it's Disney. Don't judge me. Mind your business. Ain't your mama.
Mind your business, ain't your mama.
So we're talking about my mama.
What's up with my mama?
Oh, hold on.
Big kid.
Okay, look, I done showed you the whole damn thing. Okay.
Don't know anything about love, do you? Oh, well, nothing. Some people are worth nothing for. We're talking about right this second.
I can't hear nothing. But I still me, but I showed that because he was willing to sacrifice his life for her, right? He was willing to give up his own life because of how much he loved her. And I know this is just a Disney scene, but I think about there's been times that I've sacrificed my own moral code. There's times I've sacrificed my sleep. There's times I've sacrificed my own health, not just for a relationship, but for the people I love. And I think that we get so held up into like not wanting to let go of something when you realize that often it might be that little thing you let go that might give you so much more back. You know what I'm saying? I might not necessarily like bowling, but because I know you like bowling and you love it and you're in a bowling league, baby, I'm gonna be the best bad bowler there is. You know what I'm saying? I not don't necessarily, but I'm gonna be the best beer drinker and cheerleader that there is there rooting you on. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like often that people don't want to give up something, but you're not realizing you're going to get so much more in return for that one minute thing that might make you a little uncomfortable for a moment. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of uncomfortability is worth a lifetime of love. It just is to me. And so when I think about that, I always see this scene because he was willing to give up his entire life because of how much he loved her, and it wasn't even a romantic love.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all, we are at that time of the hour. I need all of you in the comments to keep it moving, y'all. I need 8 of the audience, y'all. I went to Instagram to ask our peers what they wanted to ask for this week's hot seat question. If you want your question to be featured on next week's episode, make sure that you go to my profile, click on the icon and follow me on Instagram and look out for that hot seat question post. Now is the time I need all of you to enter in the comments who on the panel that you want to answer tonight's question before I reveal it. Go ahead and enter in the comments now who you want to answer tonight's hot seat question.
Queen. Somebody, they can't even wait. Queen. 2 queens. I don't call my name.
He said, "I'm calling my name."
Anybody here on the panel? Y'all? Comment. We got 3 Pretender. We got 1, 2, 3 queens. We got 1, 2, 3 queens. We got a G-Way. We got 2 G-Ways. We got a crew. We got some black hearts, y'all. Queen. We got 4 queens. Come on, y'all. No, G-Way. Okay, we got 4 G-Ways. Okay, listen. I'm just going to ask the question, y'all, because we got too many here. I'm just like, okay. But so Mr. Everything wrote in and asked, should you have to articulate how you want to be loved by your partner, or should you just know and figure it out on their own? Should you have to articulate how you want to be loved by your partner, or should they just know or figure it out on their own?
I'm not gonna mess around and find out. I'm gonna go ahead and articulate because I need all the clarification from top to bottom, because me trying to mess around and figure it out, we both gonna be messed up at the end of the day. So let's just go ahead and communicate on that.
Big facts. There goes that word again. Communication. That's been the key word all night. This ain't no mystery. We ain't figuring out nothing. I don't want to figure out that you are lady of the night. I need to know up front that's what you is. I need to know. I agree.
Can I say both? Is both an answer? Because at the beginning of a relationship, I want it to be genuine. I feel like if you have a conversation with somebody and you tell them exactly what you want, they can change themselves to be that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
call that the cheat sheet. That's the cheat sheet.
So I don't want to articulate that and give you the juice to come just be this fake person. No. So at the beginning of, I say both, because at the beginning of the relationship, I want it to happen, more, what's the word I'm looking for? Fluidly, I guess. More natural.
Naturally.
Like it's going, you know what I'm saying?
Naturally,
Exactly. And as the relationship develops and we are together a little bit longer of time, so we organic. Oh, I see you, Carmel.
there you
But
go, Carmelita.
as the relationship develops and stuff like that, then we can start having those conversations to where I'm like, okay, cool. This is what what you're doing this, and I love that, but why don't you just add a little bit of that with it?
So, okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I hate
I'm
to
playing
do
that a
it.
lot tonight too.
I know
Yeah.
I do it a lot. This is kind of me. So, my thing is, how are you? A lot of times, what happens in relationships is that we expect each other to automatically know what a person wants and what a person needs in a relationship. And when that person doesn't do it, then we get upset and then we get mad, and it causes all kinds of fights and arguments and all of those things. So um, I agree with Clue that it's a little bit of both, but you can't go in blind and expecting somebody to automatically know what you want, because that's not fair to that person. Because if that person doesn't know what you want, and then you're not getting what you want, then you'll be upset that you're not getting what you want because you didn't articulate it. So it's one of those. It's kind of a catch-22. Like, you have to trust that the person isn't changing and doing that just because they want to make sure that they're doing what you want to do, what they want you to do, or whatever. You have to give them something, like give them some Cheez-Its or little nibbles or something, because if you don't, like, it's going to cause problems. Like, I'm not telling you to lay in bed and tell your life story and tell them everything from the rooter to the tutor. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you have to trust enough and give them enough to let it guide naturally, because if you don't, um, what'll end up happening is that you'll end up getting upset with that person because they don't know and they don't understand. So yeah, that's, I mean, and it happens a lot. I think a lot of times we don't even realize we're doing it. You're in a relationship and all of a sudden you're upset with that person because they don't know what you like, what you don't like. They don't know how to you communicate. But when have you given them the chance to know it? When have you ever talked about that? Like, you have to give and take a little bit on this. So it's kind of both. So,
I agree.
You got to give them bullet points so they can write that essay.
You
That
agree?
PowerPoint together.
I agree. So
Yeah.
It's your turn, Jen.
Michael?
Yes, your turn.
It's the COVID, y'all. I'm sorry, my brain ain't here. It's in COVID land. It's in COVID-19. I'm gonna be honest. I agree that it's a little bit of both. I'll tell you, like, as far as what I want, like, and what I want in bed. But I feel like you in life, in relationship, I think that you should really pay attention. Pay attention to your partner, because I can tell you how you take your coffee and bring you your favorite coffee. I can tell you where every freckle is at on your body to the bottom of your. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you have to learn your partner like you're going to school. And if you don't care enough to try to learn that, like, I could tell you what my love language is, but are you still going to know how to love me? Are you going to know that when you send me a song that I listen to it 100 times over and it makes me, like, I listen to the words and I listen to the, you know what I'm saying? Like, love language, there's more love languages than just, words of affirmation. Like, I have my own love languages. You know what I'm saying? My own love language is you bringing me my favorite tea. My own love language is you sending me my favorite song, or sending me your song of how you feel right now, because you can't articulate it yourself. So I think it's a little bit of both. I definitely think that I can tell you things and I can give you the basis, but it's up to you to really understand that and to kind of figure out how it works for me, because you know me and you love me. But that's all I
so
have to
I'm
say
gonna
about
play
that, y'all. If
devil's
y'all just
advocate again.
go
I'm
ahead,
gonna play
go ahead.
devil's advocate. So, and I'm sorry,
Okay,
but what
go ahead. No,
about
no, sorry.
what about the long distance relationships? Because in a long distance relationship, you don't sit in front of each other and have that one-on-one conversation where you can touch and you can feel and you can do all those things.
Okay. So with with that, with if you're out over the camera, then you might have to do some things. I'm sorry, i.e., phone sex, i.e., I'm sorry. I don't mean to say I'm
You might
embarrassed
have to
too,
lurk and
okay?
jerk and
But
get your DJ
you
diddling
know you
on, like
have to
real
make
talk.
sacrifices because I know I can't touch you, but I'm gonna pretend I'm touching you. Like
Talking
I'm
about
like,
dilly
oh
winks
my
now. It's
God,
time for me to
bud,
go to bed.
because I'm thinking about you. You know what
Talking
I'm
about
saying? It
dilly
might
winks.
have to
Oh,
be those
good
embarrassing
night, Chris.
conversations like, look, baby, I'm hot and ready like Little Caesars, and I'm gonna need you to help me, or I'm gonna watch this porn right now. And I know don't mean to say it like that because we are now off of the featured show, so I can say what I want. But there has to be there comes the compromise. There comes the sacrifice. You might have to compromise and sacrifice the embarrassment that is for you because your partner is in need of some physical touch. But I can't give that to you, so I can at least touch you in your mind. You know what I'm saying? So it might take you sacrificing the embarrassment, or it might take you sacrificing, yourself to show. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do to you. I can't do it to you. But I think that's where that comes. Sorry, y'all. I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. But that's where that comes in. That you might have to compromise something about yourself. Either I'm not gonna say morally, because I feel like if that's your partner, are you really compromising yourself morally? Morally, I can't even say that shit. Right? You're not compromising yourself. You're just giving something of yourself that might be embarrassing or it might be hard to talk about. But I'm gonna tell you what I like, so that when we get together, baby, okay, even the damn neighbor's gonna say my name, okay? But that's what I think. If you're just pulling up, this has been the Red Room Talk, y'all. You can find us here every Saturday. Can I hear it, y'all? Every Saturday at 10 p.m.
All right.
Saturday. Yeah, I love it. At 10 p.m. Eastern
I
Standard
can't
Time. It's
roll
almost
R's.
over.
So.
Tonight's topic was is love enough? You're definitely late, but don't fret. You can find us every week on YouTube, which you can find by clicking that icon in my profile. Y'all, please go subscribe. We have so many episodes on there. I need y'all's help to build that YouTube so we can start streaming over there. We come to a place every week. We have a healing quote to kind of come to this resolution, y'all. Everything we've talked about tonight, but tonight, this is the quote. There's no difficulty that enough love will not conquer. No disease that love will not heal. No door that enough love will not open. It makes no difference how deep set the trouble, how hopeless the outlook, how muddled the tangle, how great the mistake. A sufficient realization of love will dissolve it all. If you could love enough, you would be the happy and most powerful being in the world. Emmett Fox. Y'all, this has been the Red Room Talk. I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys in the box. I would love to have all y'all back because, listen, this has been a great talk. I'm going to have to, take a question away, though, because we all long-winded. I can tell that we all are very, intelligent here, so I appreciate each and every one of y'all. But I'm going to hand it to the ladies first so y'all can let us know about yourself, what you got going on, anything you got to say, and then we'll wrap it up
I have a quick poem for you, Jen.
Okay.
It's called Is It Enough? I have made you smile as has she. I've shown your world for only your eyes to see. I've held you close as all the other women have. I've loved you in all ways that only I can. Our kisses taste wonderful. Our passions felt in the heat between us. You say I have full of your full heart, though your words are difficult to trust. I've given you mine and you've given you me. I'm making extreme sacrifices along the way. I've offered you my soul, awaiting for a horrifying truth to make its play. The sunshine with diminished to darkness, the desirable warmth met only by a frigid touch. I will fight back the tears and pain, holding on to the anger with my tightness clutch. Claiming to have been your fool, I will punish my soul for allowing love in. I will bite my lips till they bleed so as to no longer taste our wonderful sin. I am in love with you, as is she. I have a world built for you, but you'll build it as king upon land and sea, where you will be cherished every moment and every day. It's here for you to embrace my love. Only you can make me a queen or a petty fool. So I ask you, is my love enough?
That was for me. Hell yeah.
Let's go to the moon. Go ahead and let us know about yourself. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Let us know about yourself and your live and what you got going on there.
I have my Soulful Sundays tomorrow. It'll be a little bit late, so about 2 or 3 o'clock Eastern time. Soulful Sundays every Sunday. I have it. Come and let your week be let go and let God come get you some praise in. It is a safe place. It is no judgment. And get your praise on anything that's happened to you at the beginning of the year, at the end of last year. Come in and just let it go. And know if you need any prayers, put it in the chat. Contact me. If you want to hit me on IG, it's Queen_Feisty 84. Please hit me up. And you can catch me, like I said, every Friday night in the Dream Cloud After Dark, and also in the Dream Lounge. I do read my poetry 1:30 p.m. Eastern, and KOD Top Badge KOD King Drip in the box. You understand me?
So I'm Tinder174. I'm on the other app, POF, and I stream over there. And I have a show on Wednesday in Uma B's 1111 Lotus Lounge. It is Wellness Wednesdays, and it's about just being well mentally. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then following right after that, I have my own show on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. It's called Tender Tidbits, and it kind of goes into detail about coping mechanisms and just tidbits about mental health. Finally, on Thursday, I have tea with the beautiful Mr. Strawberry that is in the chats, who is my best friend, and it's Tinder, everyone, and Angie, and it's a relationship topic, and we really have some fun and break it down. So come on and join.
I don't got no poem or anything. I mean, shout out to Queen for that. Uh, she showed out a little bit.
Right.
I appreciate you having me on the show, Jen. I really enjoyed myself. I had fun. Shout out to everybody in the box, G-Way, Queen, Tender. Yeah, I love conversations like these, but I stream while I work during the day, so I stream primarily night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock if you Pacific time like me in Cali. Um, I came on tag just to have good conversation and vibe, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what we do in my live. These type of conversations is what we have a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it turns and goes into, you know what I'm saying, other things. I'm really big on just letting things happen. You feel me? Um, I am I am currently trying to work on some content, you know, uplifting the men so we can have these type of conversations to where we talking to each other, trying to grow and develop ourselves, how to listen to the women, know what you actually want, so on and so forth. So just stay tuned for that. My Instagram is in my bio. Please hit me with the fave and pull up.
I just
You'll
read.
definitely be welcome. Gee.
Just throw that out there. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet. G-Way No Way, King of Section 8. You can find me in the slums, down in the bottom. I'll be with the goons. Come through Monday, curfew, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is free to sign up and free to fly out. I give out a jet every Monday. Make sure y'all pull up on Tuesdays for Cut the Beat with Gin and Juice. Wednesday, Battle of the Zodiacs. I think this coming up week we got Virgos versus Libras. So make sure y'all pull up for that. If y'all interested in being in any show, hit me on Instagram. Follow me. You can catch me on King of Diamonds Thursday, Club G-Way on Friday, and I'm right here on Saturday. So I got something going on every single day.
But y'all can find me here every Saturday, like he just said, every Tuesday. Let's cut the beat. Every Thursday on Getting Lit Studios. I do the graphics for that. So if y'all have any graphic needs, yes, I do charge. I'm not free 99, but I am cheap because I also come from the Section 8 part of tagged. So make sure y'all hit me up for that. But other than that, y'all, I just love and appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming. You've all brought something different here to the show tonight, and I would love to have each and every one of y'all back again. Of course, I love each and every one of you. And yes, that's a strong word, crew, but I mean it. Okay, it comes from the heart.
I mean,
Okay? So make sure y'all hit every single one of these people with a favorite. Y'all, I'm gonna play a song, and whoever are these top 3 gifters at the end of the show, they get a graphic and something special made just by me. Okay. So as soon as I play this little ditty, I mean, y'all can get the hell out if you want to, and you can stay if you want to. Whatever.
Not get the
I
hell out.
appreciate you, Jen, G-Way, Tinder, crew.
Thank
Layout.
you.
Shout out
I
to
love
y'all.
y'all.
Appreciate
Hold
y'all.
on, wait, I gotta fade the box.
I paid everybody.
Yeah, I make sure I paid everybody too.
Quantum Sounds Production. What up, sound?